I've never seen anyone take up
3, 2, 1,
a
action.
stone that then took down a giant.
I had never read the Bible before, and when I finally opened it, I was amazed to find that there is a epic same-sex love story right there, smack dab, in the book of Samuel. There's all of this scholarship about the same-sex, eroticism. Their relationship has been interpreted so many different ways over the years. I mean, as intense friendship, as romantic partners, and I felt like that this was a way to reimagine the story for our time. And so I wrote Beloved King, a queer Bible musical.
My Lord, whatever you wish I will do.
The word Adoni means my Lord in Hebrew. And I use this word throughout the song to sort of play with the power dynamics between them, because they're sort of navigating this new relationship where there's sort of this shifting power dynamic, and I wanted that to be intentional and at the forefront. In the book of Samuel, David is a shepherd boy. He is a shepherd young man. David comes from this podunk town of Bethlehem. He's a nobody. He is an amazing musician. He's a lyre player, and he's brought into the king's court. King Saul kind of falls in love with him because he's this beautiful young lyre player who helps him soothe his demons, as it says. So we've all heard David and Goliath, blah, blah, blah. What we usually don't hear is the next part of that story, where immediately after David slays Goliath, the prince, Jonathan, falls madly in love with him. He sees David slay Goliath, and he falls head over heels, love at first sight. He gives him his sword, he gives him his bow, he strips off his clothes, and gives David all of his clothes. And it says that the soul of Jonathan and David are tied up together, and that Jonathan loved him as himself. And that is what the song Adenie is based on.
So with Adenie, one of the things that was very important with that tune was add momentum and movement to the music. But it was the first song I had heard from the show. It was the first song I had seen from the show. It was the first one that was given to me. So Adenie also has a very special place in my heart. But there's the actual main thing that you hear the guitar playing is this. This kind of motif all throughout. And then on top of that, later in the tune, I start adding other things, just rolled chords. And then I build on top of that with another motif, this. Which just adds momentum and push in just this little character of, this lightheartedness.
Yeah, if it moves you. Action! Let's try it one more time.
Sure.
Okay? How did you feel about it?
Oh, good. This is literally the first time I chose going in the water with this, so I'm excited.
So in Beloved King, I am playing Saul. He's Jonathan's father, and finds himself in a rather precarious situation, falling in love or falling in lust with the same man as his son. It expresses how those of us with a mindset towards things like the Bible, the classics, of how we can apply a new lens to looking at these stories, and how these stories that have meant so much to so many people for so long can now even get wider and broader and more inclusive.
In Beloved King, I play the role of David. The character breakdown of it spoke so much to me because he was finding himself, but also incredibly brave at the same time, and that really spoke to me. And it's such a sweet, innocent, sort of meet-cute song of the two of them sort of finding their way to each other.
Yes, Beloved King has been such a deep and rewarding part of my creative life. Adoni is such a well-written song, but it's kind of this drawn-out, tremulous moment where we all know what's coming at the end. But then the joy of it, the pleasure of it, is getting to see all of the individual pieces of progression that lead to that inevitable moment of embrace, that inevitable moment of the meet cute. Like it's the romance that blooms. And so it's just so satisfying. Like every time I sing the song, every time I listen to the song, I know where it's going, obviously, but I'm like, I can't wait. Like I just want them to like make out, but I have to wait these 3 minutes. It's really perfectly placed in the story of the play.
Hi, I'm Sue Buzzard, and I'm the music director for Beloved King. The queer element is not a huge factor in the show in the sense that they bring it up a whole lot and it's like, oh, there's queerness, oh, gay. It's like the relationships that happen in the show are human relationships, and it is a story about human struggles and relationships with each other and with their faith and spirituality and with God and the force that is leading them and them trying to find where they are meant to be. This show to me means that no matter who you are loved. You can be loved. And the way that it's expressed in the story, I think, is so pure.
Growing up, I was told that there was no space for queerness in religion. I really hope that this show shows folks who might have religiosity to them and queerness to them that there's possibly a little bit more overlap to that Venn diagram than they may have been taught. I feel like there's been shows about David and Jonathan before. There was one in Renaissance France, actually, but the romance is always in the subtext, and I want to say, no, we don't have to hide in the subtext anymore. We can make it the text. Well, so the name David means beloved. David is inherently an erotic character. I mean, there has been fan fiction written about him. The Michelangelo's David is gay fan art. Look at it. Tell me it's not. The song Hallelujah by Leonard Cohen that everybody knows, everybody loves, that's about David. Not a Christmas song, everyone. It's about David. It's basically a modern psalm, right? It's Leonard Cohen's version of a psalm, and David is the traditional writer of the psalms. To create this sort of erotic musical show, bringing in songs that are in the style of Leonard Cohen, in the style of this sort of finger-picky, acoustic, lyre-esque music, to create this work and to call it Beloved King, because that's what it is about. The show is about love and power. All right, I loved it. Is that good?
Alone you defeated a great enemy that no one among us could kill. If anything, I should be bending my knee and begging for whims of your will. Stand up, please. You look good from down here. Adoni. I mean, my cloak, it suits you. I'm no